Kevin O'Leary tears into Harris Inflationary Bidenomics. How Bidenomics is terrible for business. Today we're going to dive into something that's a bit controversial. Bidenomics 2.0, spearheaded by Kamala Harris. If you've been paying attention to the news, you've probably heard about Kevin O'Leary tearing in this inflationary plan, and he's not wrong. In fact, this is not going to be helpful for businesses, startups, and especially not for software developers. So let's dive into this today. Welcome to Startup Hack. I'm Spencer Thomason, and here at Startup Hack, we love to train software developers in our licensed coding boot camps and to build custom software solutions for companies. I do a lot of work as a fractional CTO. With over a decade of executive leadership and a solid 25 years in software development, I've mastered the art of transforming technology, teams, and products. So let's kick things off with Kevin O'Leary's brutal takedown of Harris's economic agenda, Bidenomics 2.0. O'Leary, as you probably know, isn't just some random guy with opinions. He's a seasoned investor with real skin in the game. He's called Harris's inflationary plan a disaster for American businesses, and he's right. The idea of pouring more government money into the economy without addressing fundamental issues like inflation is a recipe for disaster. Businesses, especially small startups, will face skyrocketing costs, and software developers could see shrinking budgets for innovation. If you thought the tech sector was competitive before, wait until these policies start rolling in. So let's talk about how Bidenomics 2.0 hurts software developers. Now, this is going to directly affect software developers. We live in a world where margins are tight, especially in startups. When inflation drives up costs across the board, hardware, cloud services, and even developer salary, you're going to start feeling the squeeze. Bidenomics 2.0 makes it harder for companies to invest in innovation. That means fewer resources for cutting-edge projects, which translates to less hiring and fewer opportunities for developers. You're not just fighting against your job anymore with other developers, you're fighting against economic policies that make it harder to even afford to do your jobs. So if you're in the startup space, this is where things get particularly scary. Startups rely heavily on venture capital and favorable economic conditions to grow, but when inflation eats into profit margins and makes basic operation costs go through the roof, good luck trying to secure funding. Investors like O'Leary are pulling back, and why wouldn't they? No one wants to invest in a company that's being choked by rising costs and shrinking opportunities. Startups are the lifeblood of innovation, but Bidenomics 2.0 is setting them up to fail. Now let's not forget who else is getting hit by this: American families. Rising costs don't just affect businesses, it seeps into everyday life. Groceries are more expensive, gas prices go up, and the cost of living skyrockets. And when this might seem like a problem for middle-income families, the truth is it hits every demographic. Harris and Biden can talk all day about lifting people up, but the only thing these policies are lifting up is the price tag on everything. Families can't afford this, and businesses can't either. And when they talk about taxing the rich, what they're talking about is taxing business owners. And who do you think is paying the salary of these middle and lower income families? It's the business owners. So when you raise tax percentages from 21 to 28%, this is going to reduce the number of jobs that are available to all families, both middle and low income. So let's get into how inflation directly crushes innovation. Every company, whether a software development shop or a tech startup, relies on cash flow to push boundaries and innovation. But when inflation and taxes run rampant, companies are forced to make hard decisions. Do we continue to invest in new features, or do we tighten our belts and focus on survival? Bidenomics 2.0 makes it nearly impossible to justify long-term investment when short-term survival is at risk. When companies stop innovating, everyone loses, especially developers looking to work on the next big thing. Now, tech companies are already dealing with razor-thin margins. Every cloud service, every hardware upgrade, every team of developers, costs are going up across the board. Harris's inflationary approach and rise on taxes means that companies are going to feel the pain in their wallets, and guess where that pressure lands? It lands on the developers and on fewer employees. It means fewer tools, fewer resources, and fewer other bodies helping you to do the work. Companies are going to have to cut corners, and guess what gets cut first? Innovation and talent development. Now, you might think that this only affects big tech companies or coastal startups, but this hits everybody. Harris's economics hurt middle-class jobs as well. Tech jobs are some of the best opportunities for middle-class families to build wealth and security, but as companies start tightening their budgets and their attack on the rich, it's going to affect middle-tier and middle-class jobs, and those will be the ones to get cut. These aren't the flashy executive positions, but the solid, dependable roles that build the backbone of the American tech industry. That's why Bidenomics 2.0 is bad news for developers and for small businesses everywhere. Now, speaking of small businesses, if your business needs help getting its systems connected, check out startuphack.com/Spencer, because we love to help make sure your company is working like a well-oiled machine. So I don't care how you lean politically, if you raise taxes on corporations, it means less jobs. It's simple math. As a business owner, if I only pay 21% or lower taxes on the income of the business, I can afford to hire more. I can invest in innovation. If you raise that to 28%, guaranteed that will impact the number of jobs that I can raise and the amount that I can pay those that I employ. The math is plain and simple. And if you think taxing the rich, who do you think pays the paychecks? It's the business owners. In this economy, majority of small to medium businesses are running at razor-thin margins. So taxing these companies is going to reduce the amount of jobs. Reducing the amount of jobs, especially for software developers, means stifling innovation. I have said many times on this channel that I am pro-capitalism. Innovation comes from capitalism and competition, not from government and overspending. So why should developers be worried? This isn't just a problem for CEOs and VCs. It's a problem for you too. When companies can't innovate, they stop hiring. When companies stop hiring, you're the one who gets left out in the cold. The software development field thrives on innovation, and when innovation gets stifled, the whole industry suffers. We've already seen hiring freezes across major tech companies because of the high interest rates, and this is because they had to drive down the inflation caused by Bidenomics. So if we continue down this path, you're going to continue to feel that pain. Now, the domino effect of bad economic policy is where things get even worse. Bad economic policy doesn't just affect the here and now, it has a domino effect. Companies stop investing in innovation, startups can't get funding, and developers lose opportunities. And right now, AAA is threatening to reduce the credit score of the United States because our national debt is out of control. So the worst part, this slowdown in innovation means fewer breakthroughs in tech, which mean fewer products and services to improve everyday life. The entire tech ecosystem suffers when policies are short-sighted and inflationary. This isn't just about companies making money, it's about keeping innovation alive. So now is the time to speak up. If you're a developer, a startup founder, or anyone working in tech, you need to be aware about how these economic policies will affect you. Kevin O'Leary isn't wrong. Bidenomics 2.0 is terrible for business, and it's even worse for innovation. If we don't push back on these policies, we'll see fewer opportunities for growth, fewer chances for developers to work on groundbreaking projects, and a tech landscape that's a shadow of what it could be, and more pain of what the tech market is that we see now. And if your business needs help to navigate these tough times, check out startuphack.com/Spencer. We specialize in helping companies streamline their systems and keep things running smoothly. Now, what are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Even if you don't agree with me politically, I love to have a great thought, have a great discussion. Tell me where you think I'm wrong. Leave a comment down below and make sure you like and subscribe. Here at Startup Hack, we love to train software developers in our coding bootcamp and to build custom software solutions for companies. So reach out because we'd love to help. Check out startuphack.com/Spencer today.